If you've ever looked at the world of cybersecurity and wondered how anyone possibly keeps up with a constant flood of threats, well, you're in the right spot. Today, we're going to dig into the future of security operations, and we're basing this all on a really insightful report on SOAR systems from Bob Slovic over at Virtualization Options LLC. Let's jump in. So let's just start with a question that honestly gets right to the heart of the matter. For anyone working in cybersecurity or even close to it, this probably feels all too real. The sheer volume of alerts, it's less like a manageable workflow and more like trying to drink from a fire hose, right? And here's why that is. The modern security crisis is, well, it's a perfect storm. You're getting bombarded with an endless stream of alerts. You've got all these security tools that don't really talk to each other, which kills your visibility. And on top of that, the attackers are constantly changing their game. The result? Your team gets burned out, critical threats slip through the cracks, and your response times get slower and slower. The whole system is just stretched to its breaking point. But what if we could totally flip that script? What if we could move security teams from this state of constant, chaotic reaction to one of coordinated, smart, and swift action? Well, that's the whole promise behind the tech we're going to break down today. Say hello to SOAR. It stands for Security Orchestration, Automation, and Response. And I want you to think of it like the conductor of your security orchestra. It's not here to replace your existing instruments, your firewalls, your endpoint protection. No, it's here to get them all playing in harmony. It integrates them, pulls all their data into one place, and then automates the workflows between them. It's the brain of the operation. Okay, so that's the big picture. But how does the SOAR platform actually do all that? Let's get into the mechanics. A good SOAR system is really built on 4 key pillars that have to work together. It all starts with that central hub for responding to incidents. Then it pulls in threat intelligence so you can see what's coming down the pike. It uses something called automated playbooks to take action. And finally, it learns from everything that happens with some really powerful analytics and reporting. So here's what happens when a threat pops up. First, the SOAR platform sucks in alerts from all your different security tools, all in one spot. Then its brain goes to work, automatically connecting the dots and looking for patterns that a human analyst, no matter how good, might totally miss. And finally, it triages everything, pushing the most dangerous stuff right to the top of the list. It's all about finding that crucial signal in all the noise and doing it automatically. And this quote from Bob Slovic's report just hits the nail on the head. A SOAR platform isn't just a big bucket for data. No way. Its real magic is its ability to analyze and correlate everything, to connect these seemingly random events and reveal the true story of what an attack looks like. So once a threat is identified and flagged as important, SOAR unleashes its secret weapon, something called playbooks. A playbook is basically just a digital checklist, a pre-programmed set of actions for a very specific type of incident. So, for example, if a nasty phishing email gets detected, a playbook can automatically block the sender, scan everyone's inbox for similar emails, and quarantine the infected computer, all of that in seconds, without a single human having to lift a finger. And this is where you really see the human impact. Think about an analyst's day before SOAR. It's this frantic scramble, right? Bouncing between a dozen different tools, doing the same repetitive tasks over and over, and just drowning in alerts. But with SOAR, they get one clean, centralized view. All that grunt work gets automated, and that frees them up to do what people are actually good at: high-level strategic thinking, hunting for new threats, and solving the really tough problems. Okay, the theory sounds incredible, but what about the actual real-world results? Let's talk about the measurable impact this has. The first huge win is all about speed. Specifically, we're talking about a massive reduction in what the industry calls mean time to detect, or MTTD. So how do we get there? Well, the report from Virtualization Options breaks it down into 3 key areas. First up, you get a 30% faster detection rate. That comes from being able to automatically correlate all that data from every security source you have. Next, you see a 25% jump in proactive monitoring. This happens because SOAR is constantly pulling in real-time threat intelligence, letting you spot attacks before they can even get off the ground. And finally, get this, a staggering 45% improvement in overall visibility. I mean, it makes sense, right? When all your data is in one dashboard, you just see the whole picture, and you see it way faster. These aren't just numbers on a page. They represent a fundamental shift in how quickly you can see what's happening. But finding a threat fast is only half the battle. Where SOAR makes an even bigger difference is in how fast you can shut that threat down. And you could see that impact plain as day right here. The report shows that across the board, whether you're dealing with malware, a data breach, you name it, the mean time to respond just gets crushed. And why is that? Because you're taking stressed out manual human decision-making out of the equation and replacing it with automated playbooks that run a perfect, consistent response every single time. That speed isn't just an efficiency metric. It can literally be the difference between a minor blip and a major crisis. But the benefits here go way beyond just being faster. What we're really witnessing is a bigger, more strategic shift in how security is managed as a whole. So, beyond the raw metrics, SOAR helps solve some other huge problems. It helps with the cybersecurity skills gap by basically bottling up expert knowledge inside those playbooks. It knocks down the silos between different teams by giving everyone a shared platform to work on, and it makes things like compliance and audits so much easier because every single action is automatically logged. So, what's next? Where does this all go from here? Because this technology is definitely not standing still. This is really just the beginning of the story. The report maps out this fascinating evolution. Right now, today, SOAR is all about automation and integration. But in the near future, it's going to be all about adding advanced AI and machine learning to make even smarter, more nuanced decisions. And then, out on the horizon, is the real holy grail, truly predictive security. A system that can anticipate and neutralize a threat before it even gets a chance to launch. And that really brings us to one final, critical question. As this technology moves from just reacting to threats to proactively predicting them, we all have to ask ourselves, is our own security strategy built to fight the battles of yesterday, or is it actually ready for the challenges of tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining this explainer.